Ready when you are, Mr. Hawks. It was the stone which Ketch had captured from the Spanish. The Eagle Stone.
I returned to Quaramonte and found that Georges had left a message with Conchita. He'd already left for the Indian village, so I hurried to catch up with him. When I arrived, I found a scene of desolation. These sunglasses are Georges. Georges, where are you? Titipoco, I'm almost glad to see you. You little asshole! What happened here? Are you responsible for this? And where's Georges? Have you seen him? He was pointing to the remains of a burned-out hut. It was a small drinking vessel made from some kind of gourd. That cup was no use to me. It had a hole in it. That barrel would have looked great on my patio. There was nothing in the barrel. That barrel would have looked great on my patio, filled with shrubs. It was Titipoco. I still hadn't forgiven him for knocking me out with his poisoned dart. One thing I was sure of, those underpants weren't George's. Maybe Georges can make use of these. They were lovely underpants, really. They were Georges' shades. The barrel contained cool, refreshing water. It was a very hot and blackened stone. It was too hot to pick up. It was a smashed lantern, probably the cause of this destruction. I didn't need the lantern since it was still daylight. Besides, it was broken. These are Georges' shades, right? Has he been here?
Jaws!
Where is he now? What's that? It looks like the stone we bought from Paris, but it's different. Yes, it has a carving of an eagle. That clinches it. Georges must have found this stone in the Caribbean and managed to hide the stone when the village was attacked by Carzak's men. I hope to God that Georges was all right. Where's Georges? Georges has been here, right? He was pointing to the smoldering remains of a hut. I just didn't have the strength to tip that barrel. Hey, Shorty! Make yourself useful and help me with this barrel. Thanks. The barrel was empty. There was nothing else I could do with the barrel. It was the Coyote stone, the original stone that I found in Paris. I had the Coyote and Jaguar stones. Titipoco had the eagle, according to the shaman. That's all we needed to deal with Tezcatlipoca. Pity he hadn't any ideas for dealing with Karzak. What is it? Where are you pointing? The ground was covered with ashes. Ashes! The thought that they might be human chilled me to the bone. There was nothing I wanted to ask. It was Titipoco. I still hadn't forgiven him for knocking me out with his poisoned dart. We arrived to find Georges being led up the stairs. We clearly didn't have much time. It was Titipoco, my newfound ally. It was a length of strong rope. The scaffold gantry went all the way up the pyramid. It was a simple wooden platform lift, used for shifting equipment, I presumed. The cap was attached to the lift engine by a chain. The engine looked like it was supposed to power the lift. It was a small but very enticing button. There was a lever mounted on the side of the motor. The button didn't seem to do anything. It was an old electricity generator. It was a small screw-fit cylindrical housing. It looked like a fuel line. There was an unlit torch by the base of the steps. It looked like Karzak was using Quaramontean troops and local Indians as his guards. Would you like some chocolate, Titipoco? It's good vintage. You're smarter than you look. How did you hook up with a maniac like Karzak in the first place?
Karzak? Whoop whoop loco!
Yes, he scares me too. It looked like Karzak was using
Hey, señorita!
Too late. I had been seen. Bonjour, Capitaine.
Only Sergeant, pretty one. What are you doing here?
Auntie, I mean, la Presidenta.
La Presidenta is your aunt?
Mais oui! Anyway, Auntie said I could watch what Cousin Raoul was doing.
But you're not Quaramontian.
No, I was raised in France. It's a long story. May I go up the pyramid?
We have strict instructions not to let anybody pass.
Oh, but I've told you who I am. Surely nobody would mind.
Well,
Oh, please, I'd be ever so grateful.
I tell you what. I'll ask Pablo if it's okay for you to go up.
If Pablo saw me, I'd be dead. No, it's not worth the bother. I'm not really that interested in their stupid pyramid anyway.
Well, okay. It's men's work up there anyway.
I'll just run along and play around here, okay?
Okay, you do that.
I didn't want to push my luck by talking with the guards again. It looked like Karzak. The fuel from the severed line had formed a pool. It was a small, screw-fit cylindrical housing. It was the cylinder from the generator, now full of petrol. The motor spluttered into life. The engine was working okay, but it wasn't connected to the equipment lift. There was nothing. Titipoco, I have an important job for you. Take this rope to the top of this scaffolding and throw it over the top.
Oh,
The rope hung down from the top of the gantry. I wasn't going to risk amputation by meddling with a spinning flywheel. The engine stopped dead. The motor spluttered into life. Titipoco, when I tell you, I want you to copy what I am doing.
copy.
okay? Copy.
Georges!
I realized those bastards were going to sacrifice Georges to Tezcatlipoca over my dead body. Thankfully, Georges was the only one to notice me.
Where are they? The eclipse is about to happen.
Patience. Your mother will be here soon and Karzak will be close behind. Just keep the Yankee covered and leave the worrying to others.
Yeah, Raoul.
The maniacs were going to sacrifice Georges!
Shut up, Stobart. Just shut up!
Calm down. He's no threat.
Hey, Raoul, why don't you do us both a favor and shoot Pablo?
You're very funny, Stobart. I haven't forgotten Marseille. When Karzak cuts your heart out, I'll be the one laughing.
I'll bet I'm not the only one due for the chop around here either. Hey, Raoul?
I'm warning you.
Raoul was a bundle of raw nerves. I hoped Georges wouldn't push him too far. There were a few sealed crates and drums. None of them looked like they might be useful. Karzak's goons had left an ammunition belt lying around. It was Pablo, Karzak's right-hand sadist. It smelled coppery, like blood. The whole place stank like an abattoir. General Raoul Graziento. I didn't fancy Raoul's chances once Karzak didn't need him anymore. It was a stone table. Given the history of the place, I wondered how many poor wretches had lost their lives and hearts upon it. I might have been able to talk the general around if Pablo hadn't been there. If Pablo had seen me, he'd have killed me. It was as simple as that. It was a round of ammunition. Poco, do you still have that lighter gun you pulled on me so amusingly?
What's going on over there? Do you need help, my pretty?
Nothing's wrong. I dropped, a cigarette butt. Everything is under control. I'll have the fire out in a minute or two.
What's that? What's happening?
Trouble.
Give it up. The pyramid's surrounded.
I'll find out what the trouble is. Watch Stubber doesn't pull any tricks. If he does, shoot him in the head, not through the heart.
Why does it matter? He'll be dead either way.
His heart belongs to Tezcatlipoca.
That's not true. We just had dinner a couple of times.
Drop the gun or I shoot!
Please, don't hurt me!
Don't worry yourself. My finger isn't loaded.
Nico, what are you doing here?
Firstly, I'm going to set Georges free, and then screw up Karzak's scheme.
No, I can't let you do that. Karzak has promised me power.
Raoul, wake up. The only thing Karzak has on offer is death. You may want to ask Oublier, except you can't. Karzak murdered him.
You're lying. Ubier's in Europe.
Sure, he's in Europe. In London, on a mortuary slab with 2 bullet holes in him.
But Karzak promised. When he frees Tezcatlipoca, we'll all be granted great power.
Listen to her, Raoul. Karzak's insane.
I don't know. I need to think.
You've let your mother do your thinking for you up to now. You need to think for yourself. Your mother and Karzak think alike. There's only one expendable member of the plan left, and that's you.
Mother would never betray me.
Oh, I'm tired of trying to reason with you, Raoul. Titipoco. Watch this man, and if he makes a move, shoot him with your gun. Hold still, Georges. I don't want to sacrifice you by accident.
You have no idea how glad I am to see you.
They were going to cut your heart out. I think I can guess. We can save the happy reunions for later. We've got to move. Come on!
We're safe.
This is a dead end.
We're toast. I know, Titipoco. I'm not too happy here either.
He knows this is Tezcatlipoca's pyramid. The house of the enemy.
Well, we can't stay here like rats in a trap.
And we can't go out the way we came in. It would be suicide. I'll have a look round. Maybe there's another way out. In the meantime... Take this. It's the Coyote Stone. It might bring you luck, I hope.
You managed to recover the stones from the village? Then we might have a chance after all. Incidentally, what would Titipoco have done if Graciento had moved?
Titipoco? Nothing. He's given up violence. By the door was a pattern picked out in blue. The pattern meant nothing to me. The pattern meant no... On the wall was an intricate pattern in blue and gold. The pattern seemed to have only religious significance. It was Titipoco. It was Georges, just rescued from certain death and not looking suitably grateful. This was a time for action, not... Georges?
Yeah?
There was nothing I wanted. There was a large image on the wall of a man in ceremonial garb. More usefully, there were also a couple of levers. The lever was made of stone. Oof! The lever was very difficult to move and appeared to do nothing anyway. Georges?
Yeah?
That lever didn't seem to do anything.
Know what I say? Nil desperandum.
Georges, sometimes I could just punch you. This was a time for... Heave! Still no good. Georges?
Yeah?
Georges, I can only pull one lever at a time, and I think we need to pull both together.
Okay, I'm up for that.
Raoul, there's something suspicious. This sacrifice! Where is it?
Nico was here with Titipoco. They set him free. I couldn't stop them.
You idiot! I should have strangled you at birth. Titipoco's gone soft. He wouldn't have hurt you.
I know that.
The darkness of this hun is almost upon us, and we have no sacrifice to appease Tezcatlipoca. Have you any idea what your incompetence will cost us?
I think so. And I'm glad.
What?
The Mayans weren't fools. Tezcatlipoca should stay exactly where they put him.
Finally got some backbone from somewhere, huh? Shame it's so late in the day.
I'd rather die than see you at Karzak with that devil's power.
Fine, we're still a sacrifice short. See, the eclipse begins. Pablo, kill him! This Tezcatlipoca can feed upon his yellow heart.
Nico was right all along, but it's still not too late. Come on then, Pablo. Let's see who sacrifices who.
What place is this? I was in some sort of strange room. Tiles and dials. The priests who designed this place must have known how to use them. I was going to have to figure it out for myself if I ever wanted to get out of here. The chute I'd arrived on was too steep and slippery to get back up. It was the great stone head that had spat me out. It reminded me of an ex-boyfriend, on both counts. The room was dominated by an enormous device, decorated with the usual Mayan motifs. It held two great discs, each covered in glyphs. It was the great disc machine. There were several tiles with glyphs on them. There was a statue of a monkey, some sort of religious significance. The monkey held a board containing more tiles with colored glyphs on them. A wiggle. Et voilà! The tile moved slightly. dial moved inwards and clicked home. Georges once told me that there's an act to finding secret doors. I think I'm beginning to get the hang of it. A wiggle. Et voilà!
So I thought, this is it, you know? This is true love. Anyway, I have to leave for a few weeks, and when I come back, what do I find? Damn right. And with who? Labano, that creep.
Huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Oh, heck. Looks like another dead-end titty poco. Any ideas? I was hoping for something a little more constructive. Never mind, I'll have a look around. There was a torch in a sconce by the doorway. It was Titty Poco, a new friend and a good listener to boot. I had nothing else I wanted to ask the... There was something interesting lurking in the shadows, but I couldn't make out what it was. There was something interesting lurking in the A really creepy statue. The figure held a skull and a bowl, probably for a heart to go in. Yuck! The only thing he could do with the statue was sit on it. And Titty Poco had beaten me to that. Look, I need to light this torch. Can you do something clever with a couple of sticks, or flint and tinder, or... Or a cheesy novelty cigarette lighter, as it turned out. Well, there was nothing else to do around here, so I pulled the lever. Nothing's happened. Oh, I hate that. Don't you hate that? Titty Poco? Oh my... Great. I had no idea where I was, no idea where the others had got to, and time was running out to stop Karzak. Still, I wasn't dead yet, so it wasn't all bad news. The torch didn't look like it was going to burn for much longer. There was an unused torch up on the wall. There was an unused torch up on the... There was a lever on the wall. A stone slab that must have weighed tons sealed the door. Charming. Lovely. Looks like my school gym teacher. There was a stone lever. A stone slab that must have weighed tons sealed the door. Every time I think this place can't get any spookier, it does. How rapoosh. The carving reminded me of Lane for some reason. There was nothing I could do to the carving, even if I'd wanted to, which I didn't. A stone slab that must have weighed tons sealed the door. A stone slab that must have weighed... stone slab that must have weighed tons sealed the door. Yes, finally! I'm out of here. Once more into the unknown. There was a lever camouflaged within the wall design. Cool. Onwards and downwards, Mr. Stobart. This was it. The pyramid's central chamber. Its dark heart. Once before in my life, I'd stood in front of a door and thought, this is it. If I go through there, I'm going to die. I'd been wrong then. I hoped I was wrong now. This was the door that led to the central chamber and the smoking mirror.
thousands of years trying to chase something that's staring us in the face. When life is lost on its face and you're feeling flat, you must remember that happiness is an inside job. If your name is Mary, if your name is Bob, it's up to you if you sing or sob. Remember, happiness is an inside job. A lot of people travel in search of the sun, flying and fishing, looking for fun. But it isn't easy leaving cares behind. And pretty soon you'll find happiness is an inside job. If your name is Mary, if your name is Bob, it's up to you if you sing or sob. Remember, happiness is an inside job. You can have a house on top of the hill, bank accounts worth a couple of mil. But when you lose your spark and your spirits dip, hang to this little tip. Happiness is an